Welcome back to the Tractor Tech channel. I'm Roger. Tonight I'm starting my first Farmertec Husqvarna build. This is a 372. I've built 3 other Farmertec saws, a steel MS361, MS440, and MS660. I've already cleaned all the parts in preparation for this video tonight. The crankcases were very dirty on this saw. I don't know if you can see, but all of the bare aluminum areas look like that. So, like the gasket sealing areas, I had to clean those up. And then I cleaned out inside the crankcase after doing that to be sure that there wasn't any debris down in the crankcase or in the bearing. So to start things off, I'm going to install the oil line, put the oil filter on. Alright, now that the oil line is in, the bar studs can go on. I looked at this saw a little bit prior to installation. I can see some things that I like better than a steel and some things that I don't like better than a steel. I don't like the way the bar studs go on this saw. On a steel, they just thread into the crankcase, so if they get cross-threaded or damaged in some way, they're easily replaceable. On this Husqvarna, they press in through from inside the crankcase, so if you need to replace a bar stud, you're going to be taking this saw apart. I'm going to use some thread sealant on the studs to be sure that they don't leak. Didn't want to move my camera setup, but to install the bar studs, I sat this portion of the crankcase across the vise, used punch and hammer to knock them in. Easy enough to do. I'm ready to put the crankshaft in. I've had the crankshaft in the freezer for a while. I'm going to heat the bearings. Don't want to get these too hot. I think like 220 degrees or something like that is more than enough. It was 168 degrees. With the case halves together, the crankcase bolts can go on. These 5 longer bolts. Now I'm going to pour a little bit of oil down in the crank bearings and on the rod bearings before the cylinder goes on. I'm rotating the crankshaft to work the oil into the bearings. The case gasket needs trim before the cylinder can be put on. Now we're ready to install the piston. Normally at this time I would upgrade the circlips to OEM circlips. The Husqvarna dealer is not that convenient for me to go to, so I haven't ordered any upgraded parts for this saw yet, but I'm going to get an upgraded wrist pin bearing and the circlips. These circlips are known to fail. If they fail, that can allow the wrist pin to walk out. If it walks out, then it's going to ruin your cylinder. Thankfully it's like a $20 cylinder though. I'm going to put it together pretty much 100% Farmertec and use it and see what parts I need to upgrade, and then just get everything at one time instead of making multiple trips to the dealer. I have the opening facing up, so now I'm going to put a little bit of oil on the wrist pin and the wrist pin bearing. Spill it all over my work area. Put the wrist pin bearing in. The arrow on the piston points to the exhaust.